Like many people, I'm a huge fan of the soft felted piano sound. I particularly love all the intricate details, sounds and noises and textures that you get from recording an actual upright piano. But I found that often with VSTs, they lose some of that character and they lose that ability to stick out in the mix that you get from recording a real upright piano. So I set out to fix that and build a soft felted piano full of features and character that sounded beautiful in any mix. This is what it sounds like. The plugin is essentially 3 pianos in one: a felted piano, a tape processed felted piano, and a muted pluck, as well as full control over all the mic placements, the ability to add a pad layer, and complete control over the hammer noise, the felt noise, and the room noise. So here is the Intimate Felt Piano. It's a meticulously sampled upright felt piano with different sample sets, different mic controls, different effects. It's built in Kontakt and it works on the free Kontakt player. So that means you don't have to buy any additional software to use this. Once you purchase the Intimate Felt Piano, you install it via Native Instruments, free plugins, and you're good to go. Each key is recorded 3 times for 3 velocity layers. We've got a unique round robin system that I'll talk about later. We've got 3 different sample sets. So one is a double felted piano for a soft and intimate sound. One is a fresh recording of different felt material processed on tape, slowed down slightly, and gives it a more sort of muted and interesting, more obscure sound. I've also got a muted pluck, which is a felted piano, but the strings are also muted. And for each of those sample sets, you can control the room mics, the ribbon mics, a pair of stereo condenser mics that are at the front, and you can also blend in a pad that's made using the sample sounds from the back of the piano. We also have individual controls for fabric, hammers, pedal noise, room noise, and then there's a round robin control at the bottom, and you've got a high pass, low pass filter for the effects, which is all of these, and then the felt, tape, and the pluck sample sets. So just to rattle through the effects, you've got the control of the fabric, and this is sampled for each individual key. So you've got that stereo width as well going into play. And I really wanted this feature because I've not seen it on another plugin. Sometimes you want that super muted sound without the sort of high end that you get from a felt piano. And sometimes you really want this to help stick it through the mix. So, fabric. I've also got the hammers. Pedal noise. Room noise, which is just a sort of loop that plays to give you that sort of white noise room, pianist texture. And then you've got the round robin control, which I'll talk about more in a minute. Then you've got the felt sample. And of course, you've got to pick which mics you want. So the stereo condenser and the ribbon give you this. You can add in room. And you can add in the pad for that lush, dreamy vibe. And quickly before I carry on the video, I've got a message from this week's video sponsor, who is the legendary DistroKid. So if you've not heard of DistroKid, they're a music distribution service that put your music on all of the major streaming sites, and they're always finding new platforms and opportunities for musicians. They've got an insane array of tools and features that make marketing music, distributing music and promoting your music super easy, and they've recently announced a new branch of publishing royalty collection. So that means that DistroKid can not only collect your master royalties, but they can also collect your publishing royalties. So DistroKid is the most cost-effective way to distribute your music because they charge a monthly or yearly fee. For that, they take none of your master royalties. Publishing's a little bit different. In this case, the split is 80-20 to artists because it's a lot more complicated to collect. But with DistroKid, you're getting their industry connections, the speed, and their ease of use. So well worth checking out. If you want to find out more, you can click the link in the description down below to get 10% off your first year's membership. I recently dropped a track with the producer Eldre, which was super easy through DistroKid. The splits were easy to set up, and the track landed on some editorials on Spotify. So we get to keep all of the royalties that generates without giving a split away to the distributor, which is great. So definitely check out DistroKid. And anyway, on to the rest of the video. And maybe you want a bit of texture from the tape, but you don't want to have all the sort of muddy beefiness of it. So then you can control the high pass, low pass. And I really wanted it to sound like you've sort of got right up and close to the piano, as if you're playing it yourself. So you get that nice sort of stereo separation. And let's listen to the tape piano in isolation. Let's get rid of the room. Just focus in on the pair. So you can hear a bit of that subtle tape flutter. I didn't want to make it too gimmicky, so it's still in its own right a warm, playable felt piano. So you can hear that fluttering from the tape and a little bit of the compression and saturation. But again, it's just a nice warm sound that works really well when paired with the main felt as well. And also we've got this pluck, so it works well to blend with the other two pianos if you need a little bit more attack and you want the sort of transients and the initial hammer to sound a little bit more prominent, because it really cuts through. Or you can use it as a sort of effect. And if you didn't know, there's a range of tools that are built into Kontakt that you can use with this plugin that work really well. For example, arpeggiator. So you can get creative with that. You get rid of it up here, and there's a range of other tools that can work well. Locking it to a scale, adjusting the velocities, different chord phrases, etc. So yeah, I mean, it's not about that, but they are super useful to use in conjunction with this. And then of course, when you've got all this going on, you can add in the fabric noise, some hammers, some pedal, room noise. And then you can have individual versions of these. So if you just want the pad, you can get some really unique combinations. You could use the room for that lush warmth, blended with the dreaminess of the pad. And for the round robin system, I've recorded every note individually on the piano 3 times for 3 different velocity layers. But for the round robins, I'm using the neighboring note pitched down to create a round robin effect. And I found that if you do this and make it more dramatic by using the 4 notes, it gives you more variation naturally, but also it gives you a more unique sound. And I think pitching some of the notes down 4 just gives it quite an interesting character and variation that you just wouldn't naturally get. So I thought it worked really well, and you can experiment and play with it yourself to see the results. But just playing through with maxed out round robin. So that's just a brief overview of the plugin, but you can click the link down below to find more information about the plugin, more demo sounds, etc. The RRP is 35 USD, and for that you're essentially getting 3 different pianos plus all the functionality and lifetime updates. So click the link down below to find out more, and if you do end up using the plugin, I would love to hear any tracks you end up making with it. I've already got jazz house and some lo-fi tracks on the go with it, and it's working super well in the mix. So do tag me on Instagram at Mondo Loops if you make any tunes or demos. And yeah, huge thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all soon.